Welcome to How to Create a Profitable Online Course and Make Your First Sale in 30 Days, monetizing your knowledge and expertise the smart way. We want to welcome you today to this special time, and we're so excited for you to be here. But first, want to make sure that you are in the right place. So who is this for? Well, this is for anyone who's ever wanted to learn how to create an online course that is actually profitable. In the next few minutes, we're going to be helping you. But before we get started, I really want to encourage you to focus. And by focus, I'm going to invite you to turn off your phone, to remove distractions, and really invite you to do no multitasking. You might need to tell the people in the next room, hey, I'm going to be occupied for the next few minutes or so, and just close the door. But what I really want to encourage you to do is to grab a pen and get some paper. And I really want to invite you to take some notes, because I'm going to be sharing some insight with you that you can take. And in the next 45 minutes or so, you're going to learn the most effective way to master the art of developing a profitable online course again and again without wasting lots of aimless time and energy. You will discover the shortcut that places you on the road to becoming an online course creator. So before we start, just relax, because I have nothing for sale on this training. But if you stick around to the end, you're going to gain access to my special free gift, which has a retail value of over $150. And you're going to also get some special worksheets that you're going to gain access to that's going to help you on that journey. With that said, I want to invite you to ask yourself this question. Ask yourself these questions. Do you feel like life is slowly passing you by and want to make a bigger impact by doing something meaningful that helps others while also helping yourself? Do you have a sense that you're boxed in with your career options and believe that learning the skill of creating an online course can open up new doors of opportunity for you? Do you secretly want more for yourself and believe that you haven't fully applied yourself the way that you know you can to reach higher goals? Do you want to have greater freedom to control your time, career, and earning potential, and believe that the knowledge of creating online courses can help you do this? Do you know that you are worth more than you're currently being compensated and want to remove the invisible glass ceiling that is holding you back? Well, if you answered yes to any of these questions, you are most definitely in the right place. With that said, you have a problem. And it's a real problem. The real problem is that right now you haven't discovered the secret that empowers you to make the shift. Simply put, you don't have the keys. But before you leave our session today, you're going to gain the keys and you're going to know what you need to do to go to the next level. In fact, once you make this change, once you make this shift, you're going to have the unique ability to develop winning online courses for your projects or any worthy project that you choose to work on. In fact, you're going to become more attractive to prospective clients that you're seeking to influence, because you will know what they want and have the keys in your hands to give it to them whenever you want. You're going to also have greater freedom to design your career to become more profitable, because you'll have the necessary insight to bring in more money with your online courses for people in need of your special knowledge. Hi, I'm Rodney Walker, the founding president of Grant Central USA. I'm also the owner of Digital Members Agency, and I'm a leading expert in grant development systems. And I've created the Grant Writing That Gets Funded workshop and online training. I've been able to take my knowledge and information and share it with people literally all over the world. And I'm looking forward to sharing with you how I've done that. My career has taken me down some very interesting paths. I've been able to meet and connect with Grammy Award-winning singers as well as other professional athletes, and I've been able to connect with people that are at the top of their game and have seen and worked with NBA and as well as football players and top models and those that are champions. And I've got a chance to hear from them, what they've done to become successful. And I'm looking forward to sharing some of that insight with you. But some of my most meaningful work has been helping countless governmental agencies and nonprofits raise millions of dollars across the nation for noteworthy causes. And I've done a great deal of this by training people with online courses that I've created. In fact, here are just a few of them and how I've been able to take my knowledge and my information and to monetize it. And that's what I'm going to be sharing with you on this training, how you can do the same. So how did I get started? How did all this come about? Well, I started doing trainings a number of years ago, and these trainings were mostly in person because prior to that, I didn't know anything about really teaching online. And I started helping people learn about grants, and people became successful with taking the information that I had, and they were people just like Catherine Timberbow, as well as other people just like Kanodi here. Now, I helped Catherine raise over $400,000 in less than 6 months. Then I also helped Kanodi, who was also at the very first trainings that I did back in the day, and helping people learn about grants. These were in-person trainings, and I helped Kanodi to raise $15,000 for his youth center. And from there, he eventually graduates. And what happens is he becomes the chair of the nonprofit department over at Regis University, and he eventually invites me to do some training. But before I was doing all of that, my team and I were helping others to raise money, and we were literally going all over, traveling all throughout the United States, going in person to these places, helping people learn about grant writing. But eventually one day, Kanodi asked me, hey, would you be interested in teaching an online course in grant writing? And I was like, heck yeah. And so I started teaching, and they welcomed me to teach there, and I was excited about it. Had the wonderful opportunity to work with some students there. Let me tell you what happened. I taught an 8-week course there, and I had about 15 to 17 students. And this was right up my alley because when I worked on my Master's of Business Administration, a good portion of what I learned was actually online. I took about 95% of my training online. So now here I am, the teacher, and I'm teaching students, and each of these students are paying approximately about $1,600 or so for the course, which if you kind of add that up with the 15, we're talking about at least $24,000. Now, mind you, Kanodi invited me to teach this training because they had 2 people who were set to do the training, and they needed me to be that second person. The first person was set to teach about 15 students, and they needed someone else to teach the additional 15 students that they had. And so really, when we look at it, we're talking about $48,000 that came in. Now, let me tell you what I got during that time. I got roughly about $2,000 to $2,200 for teaching that class. And that's pretty typical in terms of what was the pay. In fact, if you look online, you'll see how to start, in terms of teaching and what people are typically compensated. They're typically compensated, even as you see here, roughly in terms of teaching an online class, the salary for each class at a college as an instructor tends to be about $1,500 to $2,500 per semester for the online course that a person's teaching. I'm thinking to myself, okay, great. This has been a great experience, but let me tell you what happened. The light bulb went off in my mind after I taught the first class. Yes, I'm thinking intellectual property. Hey, how can I take advantage and use my intellectual property a little bit better? So what I did was I made a decision. I said yes after that experience to teaching my own online course. I did it for them, but now after that course was over, after I taught my 8-week course, I said, you know what, man, I can do the same thing and be able to share my information with even more students when I want to and be able to reap more of the benefits. So that's what I did. So here's what happened. I hired a webmaster to build my first online course because I didn't know how to do it, and technology wasn't where it is today. So I had to hire someone because I wanted to have a course where people could come in, and once they came in, they could purchase the information, and then at a set time, once they were done, put them out of the training. So that's what I was looking for, and it was well beyond where I was at in my technical skills at the time of being able to create something online. And it cost me roughly $8,000 to $10,000. After I add up everything I had to do in terms of paying the person that was doing it, this is what I was left to deal with. The good news is this. There's been advancements in technology, and it's made it a lot easier and a lot more cost effective to create and sell online courses. In fact, you can get a platform these days for as little as $100 or $2 and have a really powerful system, really more powerful than what I had way back then when I was doing my first course. So literally what happened is I got a system, and I literally fired my webmaster and started doing my own web development to be able to teach my course online. Now, did you know that in the future, as we kind of look right now, that e-learning is the wave of the future. Not only is it the wave of the future, it's actually the wave right now. So let's look at a couple of growth trends just so you can kind of wrap your brain around what's happening in this area. With it being the wave of the future, I'm saying that right now, if you looked at the trends, e-learning solutions is expected to rise above $3 billion by 2025 in terms of market value. I said billions, not millions. So in 2018, the e-learning industry was $190 billion US with a compounded annual growth rate of 7%. It's expected to exceed $300 billion US by 2025. Now, there's some places the growth rate is even higher. Like in India, it's like a 10% annual growth rate. So when we take this compounded annual growth rate and look at where things are headed, it's not loosening up, people. It's not going down. It's increasing more and more as different colleges, universities, corporations are now incorporating the whole e-learning into their systems. They're taking it on, and people are becoming even more comfortable with it. With that being the case, now it's time for you to get your piece of the cake or pie. And the way we do this is by not sleeping on your IP. Do not sleep on your IP. Now, you may be saying, okay, Rodney, what is IP? Well, let me tell you, IP is intellectual property, and it's a very powerful thing. Intellectual property is simply your ideas. It may be a specialized process. Maybe it's a patent. It may be a manuscript. It might even be copyrights that you may own. It could even be trade secrets. It's what you know and how you take that information that you know. You can take it and your knowledge can really be used like property. It could be used just like a boat or like an office building or even like a motorcycle or even a house. So let me break this down for you so that you clearly see what I'm talking about and why I'm so excited about intellectual property. Intellectual property, if you don't sleep on it, it really has real value. And that value is just like having physical property in a sense, because think about a house. A house can be occupied. A house can be rented. It can even be sold. And the same is true with your intellectual property. So with your intellectual property, and if we're thinking about it in terms of like a house, think about a house being just rented. Now, let me share with you what the average rent value is in America. We're talking about $1,405 is the average rental cost in America at this time. Now, it continues to go up and down as time continues, so you may have to check it to see if it's still at that rate. But when I checked this is what it was at. And with that being the case, what would happen if you decided to stop sleeping on your intellectual property and made your knowledge available to others, just like renting it out or selling it or being able to occupy it and use it in special ways that can be used to your advantage? With that being the case, let's talk about what that may look like. So let's suppose your intellectual property is just like this house. Let's say, for example, you decide that, hey, I'm not going to sleep on my intellectual property, but I'm going to actually build something with it and use it like a house. So if you had a course that you created that had a $97 value, you could take that, and if you sold 2 of those maybe in a month, or maybe 3 in a month, 4 in a month, what happens if you were to do 5? Now we're talking about nearly an extra $500 a month in value. You've taken your intellectual knowledge, your property, and you've converted it into money. Is this making sense? Let's take another example and look at it if you took that same thing and you did it at 10. So you're talking about 97 at 10. We're talking about nearly an extra $1,000 a month. Annually, we're talking about $12K. I'm wondering, would an extra $500 to $1,000 a month improve your life? For a lot of people, I know that it would. So listen on. I believe that if you take your information, your intellectual property, and use it properly, that you can benefit greatly from it. So what would happen if you even took it and did it at $197, just under $200, and you did 10 times that, taking that knowledge, converted it into a course, and were able to get every month just 10 people to give you $200. Now we're talking about nearly $2,000 a month. And we're talking about $24,000 annually. Now, there are a lot of people who've done this and well beyond this. And I'm excited about it because, my mind was really blown the first time I discovered that someone would purchase a $100 product from me online. I can remember it like it was yesterday that I put a product up online. It was the very first time. And I'm wondering, is anybody going to buy this? Is anybody going to ever purchase this? And I never will forget the first time somebody made a purchase. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Somebody that does not know me, that I have not seen ever before, is now giving me money online. So you can imagine if my mind was blown away when I got that $100, just imagine what happened when I 100 times that and was able to charge $10K and somebody purchased that. What I'm sharing with you is what's possible in this whole space. And that's why I'm excited to share some of this information with you on today. So let's look at the question, is teaching an online course right for you? It's not for everybody. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Only you can decide. But let me share with you some information that can help you to determine if it's something that may be right for you. So with that being the case, you may want to ask yourself some of these questions. Do you have skills that others want to know? Do you have knowledge that others want to know? Do you have techniques that can save people time? This is what people pay for every day online. Simple things that can save them time, save them energy, and help them. Maybe you have information that can make someone more productive or happier or content. Do you have that? Do you have some insight that can make someone more profitable, whether an individual or maybe a small business or maybe a group? Do you have knowledge to help people perform better in any myriad of ways? Do you have a trade that is currently being offered at maybe an educational institution? Well, if you've answered yes to any of those, then maybe this could be for you. Now, let me share some topics that people are currently teaching online right now. People are teaching things like wine tasting, finances, fitness. They're teaching about style and fashion. They're even teaching about how to cook. They're teaching about how to dance, gaming, and photography. I've taken a number of classes online in these spaces right now. Swimming, think about it, swimming, and you're learning online. Gardening, and you're learning online. Writing, golfing. Other things that people are teaching are things like podcasts. They're doing things like time management, filming, home repairs, guitar lessons, acting, investigating. You can become a detective online, fencing, public speaking, the most feared thing for a lot of people. They're teaching it online. Beauty is one of the big ones, investing and painting, and the list goes on and on. These are just a few of the topics. And if you are curious about what you're thinking about possibly teaching, just do some Google search. You can even look at some of the colleges that are in your city or even other cities, such as some of the community or city colleges that may exist. See what's being offered there. You'll notice a lot of times there are online classes being offered there. So is teaching an online class really right for you? Well, here's what I want to encourage you to do. Don't discount and overlook what others really would value. You may be discounting your knowledge right now that you have. And here's the thing. In the kingdom of the blind, the one-eyed person is king or queen. So what am I saying? I'm simply saying this. Don't mistakenly believe that you have to know everything or be an expert in order to share your information. You don't have to be some super expert that knows everything. And in fact, here's the thing. No one knows everything. You just have to be able to share what you know effectively. I am considered an expert in the space of grants, especially as it relates to grant development systems. However, I don't know everything, and no one who's an expert knows everything, because things are continuously changing, continuously growing. With that being the case, my friend, there is a gold mine, and I want to share with you how to go and do inventory on yourself to really pull out some of your wealth that you may have so that you may take that knowledge and take that information and convert it into money. It's about looking at what you have right now. You see, some people think that you have to go out and get a whole lot of other special knowledge in order to be able to teach online. And that's simply not the truth. You may have some talent, skills, abilities right now that you are currently overlooking. And I want to encourage you to do the following. I want to encourage you to get a sheet of paper and write down skills. Write down some of the skills you have. You can list out 20 different types of skills that you have right now. And whatever those skills are, just write them out. Don't be afraid. You may have well over 20 skills. You may have 40, 60, 80, 100. Write them all out. And after that, I really want to encourage you to take a look at your knowledge. Are there some specialized knowledge that you've gathered? Are there some things that you just simply know how to do from experience? Things that you've learned? Have you gone to some special classes? Have you had something that you've had as a trade for years? You see, you can take that and teach that. Think of topics of interest. What topics are of great interest to you? List those out. Things that you like to talk about. If there was a conversation that you can go and eavesdrop, and the people that you were eavesdropping on were talking about any subject that would be of great interest to you, what would that subject be? Or what are some of those subjects? So think of topics of interest, and I want you to look at the assets. I really want to encourage you to do this, because if you'll do this, you'll find that there are some skills, there are some talents, there are some things that you know right now that most likely can be shared. And if you look at those interests, then you can go back and pick out what topics really make sense for you to possibly teach, and you'll have a list of more than one. With that being said, my friend, let me share with you what are some of the common, right now, roadblocks that keep people from creating an online course. So with that being said, here are some of the common ones. Yes, I'm getting ready to deal with the big pink polka dot elephant in the room that has polka dots all around. Here's some of the ones that we've often found. We often find that people have the excuse that I'm not an expert. Rodney, how can I teach an online course and not be an expert? So they use the I'm not an expert excuse. Others use the there's already someone teaching this online excuse. Okay, well, let me just deal with both of these real quickly. The first one, I'm not an expert. Well, you don't have to be an expert. There are a lot of people right now teaching who are not experts in the subject, but they know more than the people that are seeking to learn that information. Again, it's about not making excuses, but it's about executing. Here's the other thing. There are some people already teaching this class online. Well, don't you see that there are so many colleges, so many universities, and these colleges and universities and these different places are teaching sometimes the same thing? What that shows us is that there is definitely a market for that information right now, because people are already purchasing it, and they're not just purchasing from one place. So this excuse really doesn't hold water either. Others use the excuse that I don't know enough. And some use the perfectionist excuse. I need to make things perfect, and they never get started as a result. Some are uncertain and they use that excuse, and then others simply self-doubt and keep themselves from ever doing it by procrastinating. My friend, I want to really encourage you to not hold on to any of these, because all these excuses can hold you back if you allow them to. Now, here's the biggest one of them all. Fear is the biggest roadblock to creating an online course. I'm afraid. What are they afraid of? Well, they're afraid of a number of different things, but I really want to encourage you not to allow your fear to stop you. Some are afraid of simply starting. Others are afraid of rejection. And then there's some that are simply afraid of being inadequate. Others are afraid of change. Hey, well, I've always continued to do things this way. I'm not going to do something different. And then others are fearful of criticism. They don't want anyone to criticize anything about what they're doing. You see, it may be wise for you, my friend, not to share your ideas for teaching an online course with anyone until it's done. Yes, I'm talking about complete, because some people are stuck in negativity and they don't see possibility, and they may discourage you. So don't allow fear to hold you back. Just simply do what you're going to do. Don't tell anyone until it's done. Okay, so we don't have to worry about the discouragement keeping you from moving forward. Some have a fear of failure. A lot of people have a fear of failure. And if you're going to be successful in doing anything, my friend, especially teaching an online course, you've got to develop tough skin and embrace failure as a friend and let it guide you to accomplishing your goals. So in essence, what I'm simply saying is don't let fear hold you back. Use the keys for success in creating your online course. And here are the keys. I want to encourage you to fail quickly. Yes, fail quickly, fail often. And I also want to encourage you to fail forward. You see, when you're doing anything new for the very first time, you don't know what you're doing. You've got to learn. Yes, you've got to learn. And since you've got to learn, that means that you need to fail so you can learn from your mistakes, get back up. Treat failure like it's your friend and learn from it. So fail often, because the quicker you fail and you learn from it, the more you can start moving in the proper direction to doing exactly what you need to do to win. So I'm simply saying fail forward, not backwards, okay? With that being the case, let me share with you some top reasons for teaching online. And I love this list. Here are some of the reasons that people are currently teaching online. Some people simply love to share their passion. They're so excited about what they're doing and they want to share with others. Some love teaching. They just love teaching and can't get enough of it. And teaching online provides another opportunity for that. Some people are focused on helping themselves to earn extra income. Some even want to earn part or full-time income, and that's why they've started teaching online. You have other people who teach to create greater awareness for some of their products, some of their service, or even possibly for themselves in different ways. Some people teach online to become more independent. Maybe they're currently teaching their information at a school or a university or a college, and maybe they're working with some other organization and they want to branch out and they begin to do it independently. And that's another way. Some people are simply doing it because they want to have more freedom to control their time, their energy, to do more of what they want to do. And they found this to be an excellent way to do so. Other people do it to add new products and services to their existing business. And this is a great way to expand. That's what I did. They also do it to expand their influence and their following, because when you are teaching online, it's much like doing a book. When you have a book, it creates a certain authority that you have the same way, in a very similar way, to being the author of a book. You see, some people also teach online because it gives them the abilities to train people remotely and help to train staff and help their team to grow and to train their members. Some people are doing it because they don't want to travel all over. It saves on time and travel expense. And others do it to grow a business. Others are doing it because they want to launch a new career. And then some are seeking to build their personal brand, and teaching a class provides them with a certain level of authority, as I may mention earlier, to help to do so. Your other people are doing it to build their business brand, and this is also an excellent way to begin to expand. Some are doing it to be recognized as an authority figure, and then others are simply looking to build their tribe of followers. So these are some of the reasons that people right now are teaching online. What reasons are you seeking to teach online for? What grabs you? Are any of these some of the reasons? Let me share with you some of my personal reasons that I like to teach online right now. Some of my top reasons for teaching online, it's simply fun to me. It's also profitable, and I like being profitable. At this time, it's easier than ever. When I first got started in this space, remember, I was the one who had to pay the $8,000 to $10,000 to a webmaster just to get my course up. And things have become so much easier. If you're able to do Facebook or put something in social media, trust me, these days, the platforms have made it so easy that if you know how to do Facebook, you know how to do and develop an online course. With that being said, I love doing this because it's where people are learning most these days. And it also allows you to spread your message. And so I was excited about spreading my message with even more people and helping them out. But let me share with you one really special reason why I like to teach online. And it's that it's been a tremendous time saver that allows me to scale my business and create recurring revenue. Impacting It allows me to impact lives, as well as it allows me to create several valuable, listen to this, assets. Yes, it allows me to create assets. And that is really one of my top reasons. I love being able to create something and use it in multiple ways. Now, when I say an asset is literally property owned by a person or a company, regarded as having value and available to meet debt, commitments, or even develop really like legacies. So I get excited about that because I can take my information, I can take my IP, my intellectual property, and use it in a very advantageous way, helping a lot of people, scaling my business up, creating recurring revenue, impacting these lives, and make money from the information I'm sharing. Here's one of my main courses that I developed a number of years ago that I continue to update and enhance. It's the Ultimate Grant Writing That Gets Funded training program. Now, this program, when I first got the intellectual property myself, when I learned this skill, wow, I could not have imagined at that time that the knowledge that I would have gained in learning this skill would have paid me such great dividends. I'm speaking of hundreds of thousands of dollars, literally. So this is just one of the assets, but let me share with you some of the other ones that I've been able to create since that time, just to kind of give you an idea. And these are just a few of the ones that I'm going to share with you today. Now, I think of these just like houses. And think about it. Earlier I said some people are able to occupy, they're able to rent or lease the information, and some are simply able to flat out buy it. So in a lot of ways, I think of my assets just like that. Someone can come in and learn the information. They can rent out a room. In other cases, it's like a hotel because I can have multiple people renting out the same space at the same time. Okay, I hope you're getting the visual picture of your information and your knowledge being an asset. Let's continue on, my friend. If you'd like to see firsthand how I've leveraged my digital assets, you can go over to grantcentralusa.com/store and you can see some of the other products I have and how I market those and get those out. But in the meantime, let's continue on because now is your time to shine. And I'm excited about seeing you shine. I want to share with you some ways that you can go about shining. With that being said, can you create your own online course? How do you go about doing it? And some of the questions that I hear people often ask is like, Rodney, is a license required to do this? And I just want to answer that question right now. No, you don't have to have a license to start creating your first online course because there's so many different ways of being able to offer your online course. And a business oftentimes require you to have a business license. But for now, for just creating a course, no, you don't have to have a license to create a course. You can create a course tonight and have something up and place into a learning environment the next day and be selling it. In fact, it's not that hard to do exactly what I just shared with you. Other questions that I have people ask me like, hey, Rodney, how do I get started? And I'm going to be sharing with you some ways to get started, some very practical ways that you can implement right away. What do I need? That's exactly what I'm getting ready to share with you right now. So how to get started and what you need to win in creating your own online course. Now, here's what I want to encourage you to do. Before you start creating your online course, I want you to pause for a second. Now, write this down because it's really important. I really want you to think about your why. Yeah, like, why are you thinking about doing this? If you have some paper, you may want to even write it down right now. What are some of your whys? Why are you interested in creating your own online course? In fact, ask yourself something like this. What is driving you to do it? Because you've signed up and you're attending right now or listening to right now this training, this special training that I'm doing, but something drove you here. What is it? What's driving you to want to do this? Write that down. And then after you've done that, I really want to encourage you to envision how your life will be better as a result of creating your online course. Maybe jot down some things of how you envision that will happen. Now, for me, I've shared with you just a few ways that it's changed my life, literally. But how do you envision it changing your life? And I want to encourage you, after you've done that, to make a goal vision statement. Now, what is a goal or vision statement? Well, a goal vision statement is something that you're going to be able to use daily to help you to get to where you want to go. If you're seriously interested in creating your own online course, I'm going to encourage you to do the following. Here's a sample of a vision or goal statement. I can say something like this. I, and then you insert your name, am creating and selling my first online course in the next 30 days to raise an extra $500 to $1,000 a month to improve the quality of life for my family. You may be doing it for some other reason. Whatever that reason is, make a statement, something very similar to this, and use it to your advantage. I'm going to share with you some ways you can use it to your advantage. So simply going to say, hey, I, your name, am creating and selling my first online course in the next 30 days to raise an extra. You can specify the amount. You may say $750 a month to be able to go on a fabulous exotic trip that I have planned to the Bahamas. Whatever yours is, I really don't care. It's your reason. But make a statement. And once you've made that statement, my friend, I want to encourage you to read your statement daily, at least 2 to 3 times. You might want to even get up in the morning and write it down just so that it gets ingrained on your subconscious. After you've done that, I want to encourage you to place this in a highly visible place that you will see it daily. You may even do what I've done, which is to write my statement down, or create a vision board, or to take a picture of it and keep it on your phone. So every time you get your phone and you look back, you see your vision or your goal statement. This is what I would encourage you to do at the front end before you dive into actually developing your course. Now, with that said, here's some different ways right now that you can teach online. And I just want to share with you quickly some of these so that you can see that there's no one right way to do it. Now, there's some smart ways to do it, and I'll share those with you later, but different ways that you can teach, you can actually do live events. There are a lot of people right now that are teaching online courses and training people, and they will do things on Facebook, going live. They'll do things on YouTube, going live, and there are different platforms that allow you to do that. So that's one way. Other people have pre-recorded events where you can literally dial in and listen to a recorded training. That may be a webinar or master classes that are offered. There are also ways that you can teach virtually and have virtual reality training where it allows you to have the person in a virtual reality experience. There's also group coaching where you can coach people. Sometimes people are being coached live on Zoom calls where they dial into their computer and the instructor teaches and all the other participants are there live. And I do something similar to this on a weekly basis and also on a monthly basis with some of the groups that I have. Also, you can do one-on-one training with your course. There are people who are teaching right now one-on-one. And then there are even gaming trainings that have the gaming element connected to it. So these are just a few different ways just to show you that there's not just one way of going about doing this. Now, here are some steps for you that are very practical to start out in creating your online course. First, what I want to encourage you to do is to decide that you're going to do it. That's exactly what I did when I decided to teach my first class. I said, you know what? I got to make a decision here. So I decide. After you've decided, then next, choose a course topic to teach from. And if you followed the little recipe that I gave you a little earlier, you should have a number of different topics that you can possibly teach on. Next, target a start date. Set a date on a calendar that you say, hey, I'm going to teach my first online course by this date. Whatever that day may be for you, write that date down. Keep that close to your vision and mission statement. Next, develop a course outline. Now, these days, you can develop a course outline in so many different ways. You can do an Excel file if you want to and have your information about how you're going to teach your course. When I developed this training that you're going through right now, I developed this training using Keynotes. You can use Keynotes or PowerPoint or what other other applications you use to develop your course. But after you've done that, design your course presentation. And then select a platform to conduct your course. Also, you want to record your course in small segments if you are choosing to not do it live. And then from there, I want you to compile supporting material for your course. There are going to be some other documents, maybe some PDFs, maybe some written text that may be important. And then finally, you're going to upload your course into platform. You have a platform that you'll upload that information into. Okay? With that being said, here are some other things I want to encourage you to do. A quick and easy formula for creating your online course. Here's some things. First, I want to recommend that you keep it simple. Yes, you've heard of KISS. Keep it simple. We're going to change that to students. Keep it simple, students, okay? You don't have to be deep and profound. Just keep it simple. And in addition to that, I want to encourage you to do a mini course first. Now, let me share with you what I mean by mini course. Some people become very zealous and they want to do a 9-hour or a 5-hour or 6-hour training. That can be a bit much when you're first starting out. So what I want to encourage you to do is to do maybe a 30 or even a 45-minute training the first time. And what makes this easier is when you break things up and make it more digestible. So you can do a 5-part series or have that 5-part series. If it's a 30-minute, you can make it a 6-part or however you want to do it, but you can break it up into 5 to 6 minute increments and have those segments be short and sweet. And I really want to encourage you to possibly do it as a video-based training. Now, there are trainings all around, and I just got through going through one recently that was audio-based, and it was still good. But I like to have video-based people tend to seem like they engage more. We're more visual in nature. If a person is more visual, then this may be more applicable. But if the person is an audio learner, the good thing is when you do video, you have both the audio and the video. So it kind of serves both purposes. So that would be my suggestion and recommendation for you. Now, let's look at some of the resources that you can use to create your first online course. There are a lot of different things you can use. And what I want to encourage you to do is not overlook what you currently have, because right now, most likely you have some things right now that can really, really help you to do what you need to do. First, a computer, a microphone, your cell phone. These are some great resources right now that you can use to start teaching your online course. So first, Keynotes and PowerPoint. If you already have a computer, you can use an application like Keynotes and PowerPoint to design your presentation. And if you don't know any of the things I'm talking about, just take note of them. And remember, Google is our friend. Just go to Google and type in Keynotes or PowerPoint, and you'll find lots of information to help you learn how to do that. The next thing is you want to get a screen capture software. And I like to use screen capture softwares. And what a screen capture software allows you to do, like what I'm doing right here, I'm teaching you and you're seeing the screen. You're seeing literally what's on my screen. And there's a way to have screen capture software that allows you to do it. And there are different ones out there people use, from ScreenFlow to others that I use Screen-O-Matic, and there are several others. Don't worry, I'll put this up in the resource rooms for you to be able to access some of the ones that I use later on. In addition, you can use something like Microsoft Word or Pages or what other applications you can use to develop your PDFs and files of that nature. Also, cover creation software, things that allow you to create different covers. And again, I'm going to put in our resource page some of the ones that I use that I found very helpful. But these are some things you want to make note that you want to get. You also want to get a USB microphone. Right now, even as I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking through a USB microphone that allows my message to come in a little bit clearer on to this training. And then eventually you will need to get a hosting platform for your course. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. The bottom line is, if you want to move forward, look at the resources you currently have and use some of those. You can visit me at Digital Members Agency digitalagency.com/resources, and you can find some of the tools that I use and be able to see if some of those will work for you. Now, let's move forward and talk about the video-based courses that you can create. You're going to need a camera, and the good thing is you don't need some big fancy camera. You're going to need the screen capture overlay. The beautiful thing about the screen capture overlay is that if you're not too particular about being on camera, you can hide behind the screen. Also, if you like to, you can actually have it set where you have the screen overlay, but if you like to, you can also have yourself pictured in the corner and be able to have both of those working for you as well. And that provides some unique advantages also. The next thing is this. Don't worry about having expensive equipment that doesn't make you successful. Okay, let me just speak to you for 1 second. What makes you really successful in this is using what you have at your disposal and really working it. And if you really work it, you will be amazed at some of the winning results that you can produce. So don't act as if you have to have some big $20,000, $15,000, or $1,500 camera to get started. You can start right now. And I can't tell you, I've done trainings literally with the cell phones that I had. And I'm talking about, you're like, okay, Rodney, well, I got to wait till I get my iPhone. Well, I've shot with the iPhone, and I've also shot with my Android Samsung. So you don't have to have some fancy phone either, okay? With that being said, as you develop your course, you may be wondering, hey, what do I need to do to make it profitable? And will people buy this? Well, as I shared with you earlier, you can do some investigation right now and see what people are purchasing online. And here's what I want to encourage you to do. Don't be intimidated just because you see somebody teaching something that you want to teach. Remember, there's several colleges, universities, and many of them are all teaching some of the same exact classes, different places. They're attracting different people. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. With that being said, you may be asking yourself, how will people buy my course? Well, again, there are a variety of ways for this to happen. And we're going to look at some of the different platforms that you may be able to use in different ways that you may be able to get your course out there. With that being said, you may also be wondering, like Rodney, how much should I charge? And that's a great question. How much should you charge? What are you thinking you should charge for your course? Have you already gotten to that point yet? Okay. Well, here's what I want to encourage you in regards to pricing. I really want to encourage you not to simply get stuck on only making money by selling the actual course. Did you catch what I just said? Don't get stuck on making money solely by the course itself. What am I saying? I'm saying this. As it relates to pricing, you may use your course as a way to attract potential clients. And you may sell the course at a lower price. You don't have to, but you may. You may have it set to price at a higher price. This is where you've got to kind of make a decision on what your strategy is, okay? But let me give you an example. You may have a course that is a lower price course that may be, and I'm just going to say, what, $10, $15, $20, $30 or so, a lot lower price. So if you have a course like that, it can serve as a lead generator for you, meaning that somebody has purchased a course at a low price, and then now they've had a chance to hear your expertise. And as they heard your expertise, later on, they may come back and buy additional services, such as coaching, or maybe they will purchase some other products and services that you have that may be something that your course is a lead into with. Okay, so maybe the course is just a gateway to getting them to some other things. So don't get stuck with pricing thinking that you have to have it priced right from day one. But if you're going to get your course out there and really make it profitable, some of the things you're going to have to do is create demand, see if there's interest, or create that interest, and marketing. Marketing is going to help you to determine how much and how many people become interested in your information. And all of these things, the demand, the interest, as well as your marketing, will have a great impact on how much you are able to charge for some of the trainings that you have. Time won't permit us in this training to go into great detail on how to market, but I got some other resources that I'll point you to a little later that can help you to do an effective job of the marketing side, because we don't want to just create the course, we actually want to sell the course. With that being said, how do you choose the right platform for your online course? Great question. Let me answer it for you. Here's what you can do. When you're choosing a platform for your online course, the good news is this: there are numerous options as you see here. The challenging news is there are numerous options. Yes, there are numerous options. As you see, here are just a few of them. And I want to be straightforward with you and let you know that I can't speak to all of these because I haven't used all of them. When I first got started, remember I told you I had a web master, and that webmaster developed my online course. Now, we use an online course system and we use WordPress. Now, he had to get different add-ons added to it just for us to be able to use it. So I can speak to you about my experience there. Later on, before I let him go, I was doing it myself as well, using some of these add-ons in WordPress. And it became a little challenging for me because the platforms had to work together and you had all type of different things that were kind of going on there. And so I eventually moved away from doing the WordPress. Now, I can speak as a student about Udemy. A lot of people actually have their courses uploaded on Udemy. And that's another great place if you like to see what classes are being offered. Right now, you can go and check out Udemy. So it has a lot of students. Now, here's the thing about Udemy. I enjoy it as a person who goes and takes courses on Udemy. I have a number of courses that I've taken there. They're low price, and I've been able to really gain some valuable insight from some of the courses there. Now, I don't personally recommend it as a platform to use for teaching my classes, and I'll tell you why. It may work for you depending on what your purposes are. The space has a lot of people there that are teaching classes. A lot of students are there, which is good, but you also have a lot of people that are teaching their classes. The other reason that I'm not a big fan of actually offering my classes there, and I'm not saying that I won't do it in the future, but for now, in terms of how I use it, you don't have as much control of your course. So they can change the pricing and reduce it at a lower rate, as well as you're only getting about 50% of the cut. And I wanted to have more autonomy over my course, how I sell it, and the money that I made with it. Now, one that I'm very, very familiar with it, and I'm actually a happy customer and authorized partner of, and that's Kajabi. And once I stopped using WordPress, Kajabi was just coming along. And when I tell you, I love this platform. It's something I use to this day. In fact, the training system that you eventually signed up on and the communication I've been having with you through the email, as well as the other ways that I've been able to communicate with you, even the webinar training that I'm giving to you right now is using their system. So here's some things that you may want to consider as you are looking at whatever platform you choose to use. Here are the important questions that you want to ask yourself. You want to ask yourself, what is your overall goal? What are you trying to ultimately accomplish? And after that, you may want to ask yourself, like, what will you need to have from your platform? I'm talking about like immediately as well as in the near future. These are things you want to think about. Also, what will you need long-term from a platform? And I really want to encourage you to think about this, because oftentimes a lot of people, when they're just getting started, they're not strategic and they're not thinking about this on the front end. So what happens, they end up wasting a lot of time, money, and energy, because maybe you put it on one platform and you took a lot of time and energy to put it on this platform, but that platform only had limited growth opportunities, or you needed something a little bit more sophisticated, and now you can't do some of the things you need to do. So I want to encourage you to think through this on the front end, which will save you time on the back end. With that being said, as you're choosing your host, think about it like this. Think about it as a house. Let's go back to the analogy of using what you're doing, or the metaphor of your course being like a house. So what do you need? And I want you to think past just what you need in terms of building the house or building your course, I want you to think about selling it. Remember, you're not just building a course, you've got to market and sell the course. And that's how some of the things you kind of need to think about as you're looking at, hey, how am I going to sell my course within the first 30 days? So here's some things when you're thinking a little bit longer term that you may want to look at in terms of a platform provider. Is it a website builder? Does it have checkout carts? Are you able to do sales page? Now, remember earlier I told you if you'll go over to grantcentralusa.com, you can see how I have my sales page. When you get ready to make a purchase with any of the items I have, it leads to a checkout cart. And it's also my main domain and website is used, Building a Builder. Also, you want to ask yourself, hey, do you have a landing page, blog, online course platform? One of the things I'm a big fan of is selling trainings and offering a membership site. Does it have a membership site platform for people to become members? When you have that, it allows you to have reoccurring revenue on a monthly basis. Maybe you can charge a lot less than you normally would, maybe $9 or $19 or $20. When you have a membership site, it allows that reoccurring revenue to happen. Also, community forum builder. Are you able to bring people to something like a discussion group? Does the platform offer that? Does it offer email marketing software? These are some things that allows you to have communication with those clients or potential clients that you'll need to have. Funnel builder. Now, when we talk about a funnel, I like to think of a funnel just like a tunnel that takes you from one place and eventually leads you to a particular path with not a whole lot of options that are going left, right, but it's leading you down a path. That's something that you may want to consider. Does your platform have automation software? CRM. CRM is the customer relationship management, something that manages all of what's happening there. Affiliate management software. Do you need that? Because are you going to have other people that are going to be selling your course for you? If other people are going to be selling your course and you're going to pay them something with it, you're going to need to have a software that's going to be able to manage that. And CRM, I guess CRM was so important, I had to put it up here twice. And then is the platform able to do quizzes and assessments? You know, that takes the course to a different level when you're able to do that. And then also hosting webinars. These are just a few of the things that you may want to consider asking yourself, do you need it? And if you do, then that's going to help to guide you in what platform you choose. Now, I talked about a lot of stuff. Now, let's do a quick recap of some of the main parts of what I've shared with you so that we can wrap everything up. Here's what I shared with you. When we talked about this, we say, hey, this is a $300 billion industry by 2025. I've also shared with you that you don't want to sleep on your current IP. Use your knowledge as property and don't discount what you currently have, my friend. Remember, in the kingdom of the blind, the one-eyed person is king or queen. Take your knowledge and use it. We talked about the roadblocks, the excuses, not making excuses like I'm not an expert, like I don't know enough. Jumping and leaping past procrastination excuse. And I'll talk to you about the reasons why people are teaching online to share their passion, love, extra income. They're wanting to get greater awareness of what they're doing, more independence, being able to have greater freedom, even being able to add on products and services and different things of that nature. We talked about other things such as the steps that you need to take. I said that you need to decide that you're going to do it and then choose a course and then target a date and then develop a course outline. I said that you need to make sure that you design a course presentation and then that you select the right platform for you and record your session and then make sure that you compile and add additional support materials and then upload it to the platform. I also share with you the importance of choosing the right platform. Asking yourself important questions such as what's your overall goal? You know, what do you need now and in the near future and then long term? And if you will do this, my friend, you will be well on your way. This is how you are able to take your information and convert it to knowledge and to money and to greater impact. Today, my friend, I promise you that you are going to learn the most effective way to master the art of developing a profitable online course again and again without wasting a lot of time. Energy as well. I also told you that you're going to learn some shortcuts that placing you on the road to becoming an online course creator. And that's exactly what I've shared with you, my friend. And I hope that this has been very helpful for you. But I also promise you a gift, right? Let me tell you about your gift that I want to give to you quickly as we get ready to wrap everything up. Your gift is a special gift. I have 28-day challenge for you. Yes, it's a challenge to help you build your first course in the first in these next 28 days. Just think about it. 30 days from now, you could have a course created. And what's going to happen? I'm going to give you access to a free platform for my friends over at Kajabi. In fact, 28 days of daily video training. Let me tell you what this training looks like for my friends. I'm connected with them, and we're going to be providing you with 28 days of helping you to brainstorm your course ideas. And these are going to allow you to think about it. It's going to also help you day by day to create your funnel. So all the stuff I've been talking about that I'm doing, that I've done, we have videos that's going to show you exactly how to do all of this, as well as how to build a pre-built pipeline so that you start leading people down the path that you want to making a sale, as well as free traffic strategies. This is going to help you so much with your marketing. And all this is going to be in the 28-day challenge. And you're going to be able to take some of the forms, papers, how to get your audience. It's going to show you how to turn your passion into a course. All this information, checklists, how to generate your revenue worksheet. You're going to learn the course outline. We're going to give you practical information to make the sales. All of this information on how to market and more, it's going to be yours free for 28 days. You're going to get this resource, how to create a checklist, how to monetize your content, as well as how to cash in on your passion. All of this, my friend, is going to be yours. And you can access some of this information digitally at Digital Members Agency resource. I'm talking about the free information right here in terms of being able to get this checklist and these items. But to get the platform, I'm going to give you that platform, and all you're going to have to do is wait just 1 second, because if you wait 1 second, I'm going to show you how you can get your piece of the pie. Yes, you can sign up right now, and just the next 30 seconds, there's going to be a link that says, hey, great, here's the challenge. All you got to do is click it, and you're going to get another video that's going to share with you a little bit more information about the challenge, and you can get to running, my friend, and then chase after and start the 28-day challenge so that you can begin to develop your own online course. Hey, it's been great getting a chance to serve you, my friend. I'm wishing you the very best. I want to thank you for attending. And once you sign up, do me a favor, shoot me a quick email. Shoot me a quick email and just send me a little message, because I want to take a look at your course in 28 days or 38 days from now. And I want to encourage you to go be profitable. Go spread your message. Go spread your influence around the world, and go make a difference. Go impact somebody else's life. I want to thank you. Wishing you all the best. Remember in all your dealings to be brave, be bold, be brilliant, and take charge.